There have been so many racist or just flat out offensive characters seen in SML, and today we're going over all of them, starting off with none other than the Nazi cheeseburger. Now, the Nazi cheeseburger is essentially a piñata that Judith has shown in some episodes, and Judith has so many claims about the Nazi cheeseburger that makes this character very offensive. This piñata first appeared in SML movie Cody's Happy Hanukkah, and in the video, Judith claims that her and the rest of her family beat it every year, as this burger is a Nazi.
Why do you have this?
Oh, well every Hanukkah we get a Nazi cheeseburger, and we say mean things to it and we beat it up and call it names.
Okay.
Why are you smiling, Nazi cheeseburger? You're a monster.
Now, off the bat, this character was already pretty offensive, but it gets worse in the second appearance of the cheeseburger, which is in none other than SML movie The Substitute Teacher. And in this video, we see Judith giving the class a lesson about it, and makes everything 10 times more offensive by claiming that the cheeseburger was responsible for the Holocaust. And on top of all this, Logan decided to edit the cheeseburger in a recorded film with Hitler, which just makes everything worse.
Now don't let that smile fool you. That Nazi cheeseburger's hungry for genocide.
Whoa! But Cody, did that really happen?
No, of course not. Do you really think a Nazi cheeseburger caused the Holocaust?
Thankfully, these were the only two appearances of this cheeseburger. But overall, this character was offensive, mainly due to the fact that Judith would mock all of these tragedies and Hitler in a way by accusing the cheeseburger of doing all of that. And in general, the cheeseburger itself had an entire swastika on its head, which that alone already offends people. I hate this character. He is beyond insulting to those who endured, died, and survived the Holocaust. This is beyond disgusting to the poor Jewish people who suffered at the hands of Hitler and his Nazis during the darkest chapter in human history. Logan has big nerves creating this character with the audacity to use the Holocaust for his own comedic purposes. You hate Nazis? You will hate 4chan. Now, this cheeseburger definitely gave Logan some new haters and caused some controversy, but it didn't have as bad of an impact as Embo Jeffy did in SML movie Jeffy's Tantrum. In this video, we would see Jeffy beg Mario for a $2.99 game on the App Store, and obviously Mario wouldn't get him it. For the rest of the video, we would see Jeffy go insane, and it would get to the point where at the end of the video, we would see Jeffy become emo, and he would eventually tie a noose and try to off himself. Now, if you haven't already noticed why this character is so offensive by now, it's because of multiple reasons. Starting off with the fact that this character was mocking emo people in a way, as a common stereotype for emo people is that they off themselves, which isn't necessarily true most of the time, as they usually are just going through severe depression, and only some emo people go to this extent. And not just this, but we can see a noose clearly shown in the video, along with Jeffy starting to do the action that the noose is used for, which ultimately came with huge consequences for Logan, as this video is the reason why his original Super Mario Logan channel got age restricted and demonetized, along with Logan ending up on Good Morning America.
Considered inappropriate for young viewers, is the site doing enough to protect them? And Lara's upstairs. Hey!
So yeah, overall, this character was definitely one of the most consequential for SML, and Logan was definitely better off not even making this character or video. But the controversy scale starts to ramp up a whole lot more in SML movie King Joseph. In this video, we see a character named Shawala Kawabe, who is a citizen from Eswatini. He shows up to Junior's house looking for Joseph, and Joseph is apparently the king of Eswatini, which is crazy news for the unemployed. And for the rest of the video, we see Joseph be taken to Eswatini, and it's overall just a super stereotypical video. And at the end, it's revealed that all of this was a setup by Tyrone and Judith because they needed money, and they were trying to scam them.
Damn it, Tyrone, I can't believe they figured it out. What, Mom?
Yeah, Judy, go ahead, get out that damn blackface.
Mom, what the fuck?
Wait, so this whole thing is fake? Joseph's not a king?
Hell no, Joseph ain't the king of shit. Yeah, me and your Uncle Leroy put this scam together where we make people think they're the king of Eswatini. So fake ass country.
Now, in this video, there are a lot of controversial characters. Starting off with the main one, which is Shawala Kuwabe. This character is simply mocking a normal member of an actual African tribe, as they're known to dress in this sort of way. Same thing with Cody's Uncle Leroy. But these aren't even the worst, as Judith's fake character is probably the worst out of all of them, because Tyrone admits that she was using blackface. And if you don't already know, the act of using blackface is widely considered offensive to the African American race, as blackface is typically used for mocking African American people. So SML making a white woman put on a blackface is definitely super controversial, and surprisingly, they didn't even face much backlash for this. However, the same definitely cannot be said for the insanely controversial character and topic covered in SML movie Jeffy the Spy. In this video, we see Marvin, Rose, and Jeffy getting spied on by the government, and Jeffy and Marvin end up getting Panda Express. And after Jeffy says, quote, "I love Chinese," in a Chinese accent, this causes the government to arrest Jeffy and Marvin, as they thought they weren't from the US and they were in fact spies. They would go to get interrogated and be found guilty, and in result of this, they got sent to Guantanamo Bay. But the video gets controversial insanely quick, as they end up running into a Muslim terrorist named Muhammad Mahakbar.
Hey, Mohammed.
Kaboom!
Yeah, all that. Come meet your new cellmates. Yeah, I get it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, you filthy American! I hate you, you're scum! I wouldn't even bang your first goat.
Okay, do we really have to stay in a prison with him?
Yes, you're spies. You betrayed America, so you have to get in there.
Now, this clip alone explains why this video was incredibly controversial. In the clip, we see Lavelle acting as a terrorist, and he's pretending to be on an airplane, which if you don't already know, 9/11 was caused by Muslim terrorists, Osama bin Laden being one of them. And as we all know, 9/11 was one of the biggest tragedies in American history, so SML casually mocking this was really messed up, and people went straight to criticism, and even accused Logan of stereotyping. This episode is very ridiculous and degrading to many people. Logan should seriously take down some videos, including this one. I was one of the people who thought this was offensive, and rightfully so. It was a middle finger to the US government. Everyone within it was so freaking stupid. They didn't even think twice about hearing Marvin and Jeffy's accents first, automatically assuming they were Chinese. No matter how many times Marvin tried to rectify the situation, nothing but plain stereotyping, ain't it? Well, this character may have been extremely controversial. Thankfully, he was just a one-time character. But when it comes to characters like Jackie Chu, on the other hand, it gets worse to an extent. Now, Jackie Chu is one of the main characters in the SML videos at this point, as he mostly portrays everyone's teacher at YU Dumb Elementary School. But if it wasn't already obvious, Jackie Chu has been a very offensive character, as he is clearly a Chinese stereotype. Starting off with his most infamous line, "I am so Asian, I can't see a thing," which is obviously Asians' biggest stereotype, as they are known by many people to have worse vision than everyone else at times.
Here's my homework, teacher. Oh, I saw Asian. I can't see a thing.
But it doesn't end here, as he is obviously very smart in videos, and often states how he has a PhD in calculus. And this, yet again, is a blatant stereotype of Asian people, since people also like to say how they are smarter than everyone else. Now, it's honestly surprising how Jackie Chu hasn't been called out enough by the community, and it's easily safe to say that this character is on a similar level to characters such as Shawala Kuwabe and the cheeseburger. But at the end of the day, some people still clearly see him as a very racial and offensive character. I especially don't like this character. But as for characters that follow heavy stereotypes, Black Yoshi and Tyrone are still more tolerable. This one isn't. I hope he dies as a character, or they just stop making him follow Asian stereotypes. Now, Jackie Chu isn't the only popular recurring character that is a clear stereotype, because Black Yoshi is another character that falls into the depths of being an offensive character. However, when it comes to Dougie, his whole personality and character is just a walking stereotype, as almost every single video that Dougie has ever been in is either related to Call of Duty, KFC, or committing a crime of some sort, which all three of these things are insanely insanely big black stereotypes. Along with this, Dougie's character traits of being dumb and having no money also play a huge role on why this character is offensive. Now, more recently, Logan has toned down his personality to be less racially stereotypical. However, back in the day when Dougie was known as Black Yoshi, he was essentially a walking stereotype. And it's very obvious that fans would notice this and call Logan out for it, especially on his new design, which people think is just flat out racist. Black Yoshi be saying some racist stuff. As a black person, his redesign and that scrapped human design makes me so uncomfortable, which is a shame because I find the Black Yoshi videos hilarious. God, I hate his new design. It's so racist. But Craig also follows a pretty similar path to Jackie Chu and Dougie. However, this time it's on the religious side. Now, Craig has been an SML character for over 12 years at this point, and obviously he's the devil, and his personality is based off Satan. However, in the SML universe, he isn't as evil as Satan would be, but he still does some evil acts, and often makes some controversial references, such as people selling their souls to him. And with all of this being taken into consideration, we can realize that Craig is truly offensive for the people who are not religious, as this is clearly mocking a known individual from the Holy Bible, and along with the fact that some people's religious beliefs involve Satan in it. So this character alone mocks everything on the religious side of things, and it seems to have also had a pretty personal impact on Logan, as Craig was apparently one of the main reasons as to why Logan got all of his videos demonetized back in 2017, most likely for how dark of a character Craig is. Now, Craig wasn't the only character who was offensive for some religious people, as the Nuns, featured in SML movie Attack of the Nuns, were also pretty offensive to religious people. In this video, we would see Junior, Joseph, and Cody start a yard sale to earn some money for a Steam Deck, and while looking through some old items to sell, they find a cross. However, Joseph would throw the cross, and this would cause two nuns to show up at the door with literal weapons, basically threatening Junior and Cody to take the cross back. But after this, Joseph would throw it again, and more shenanigans would happen, with the cross and the nuns, eventually getting to the point where the nuns kill Brooklyn Guy. Now, this video is clearly offensive due to how they make the nuns act. Now, if you don't already know what nuns are usually females who dedicate their life to the studies of Jesus Christ, and usually promote this lifestyle or encourage people to give their life to the Lord. And nuns usually work in monasteries. However, SML making the nuns have literal murder weapons and killing people is not what nuns do at all. And this is essentially mocking the nuns and making their whole job and image look bad. And this especially affected people who take their religion super seriously. And SML definitely gave themselves a super bad look thanks to this video. This is bonkers! These nuns have Christian symbols and they were filled with horror. 0 out of 10. However, when it comes to Wilma, this character was pretty controversial and offensive for a different reason. In SML movie The Volleyball Game, we would see Junior and his friends go against girls in a volleyball game. However, one of the girls on the team was Wilma, and Wilma was a transgender individual in the video. Now, this video would be filmed with really sexist comments, but what makes Wilma as a character offensive is when Wilma would end up getting her team disqualified because of what she had in her pants.
Okay, penis, everybody. Girls are eliminated.
Now, this character wouldn't just be controversial for this, but in a way, SML was making fun of transgender people being able to participate in women's sports. And if we add this, along with that specific scene setup, it makes Wilma look really offensive as a character, especially to women and actual transgender people, which caused this video as a whole to get massively hated on for being a transphobic and sexist video. I'm transgender myself, and this video was just not funny. 1 out of 10. Jonathan was the funniest part of this video. Let that sink in. Jonathan was the best part of the video. This episode was way too sexist towards women, and I really hate sexist content, especially because I'm a positive feminist, and I demand that women in SML be treated better. But obviously, this didn't affect SML much, as at this point, they can get away with anything. But nonetheless, if you enjoyed the video, and you want to learn more crazy stuff about SML, you should click the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.